Have you ever looked in the mirror and quietly wondered, when did I become this weak? The wrinkles don't scare you. The grey hairs don't bother you. But the way your body moves, that's what makes you pause. Standing up feels slower. Reaching for something overhead takes more effort. Walking across the room feels heavier than it should. No big injury, no dramatic illness, just a gradual fading of strength, energy, and confidence. And maybe you've told yourself, it's just aging. Everyone goes through this. But what if that's not the whole truth? If this feels familiar, hit like and comment the number 6 below. You're not alone, and your story matters. By the time we reach 80, most of us have lost up to 50% of the muscle we had in our youth. That doesn't just change how we look. It changes how we live. It affects how we walk, how we lift, how we carry groceries, hug grandkids, or catch ourselves when we trip. In fact, every year, over 300,000 seniors are hospitalized because of weak muscles and dangerous falls. But here's the part no one tells you. It doesn't have to be this way. There are people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s who move with energy, balance, and strength. They aren't just surviving, they're thriving. They hike, they dance, they carry groceries and their grandchildren with ease. So what's their secret? That's what we're uncovering today. Because according to research in the Journal of Physiology, some older adults maintain strength and mobility on par with people decades younger. They've unlocked something powerful. And it's not luck, it's habit. In this video, we'll reveal 7 daily habits that help the strongest 80-year-olds stay strong. And the best part? You can start them at any age, even today. Because you're not too old, and it's not too late. Let's begin. So, how is it that some people in their 70s and 80s still move like they're in their 40s? They're not superheroes. They don't have rare genes. And no, they're not just lucky. They're called superagers. And their secret? It's not about perfect health. It's about powerful habits. Superagers don't age gracefully. They age intentionally. They don't just react to what's happening to their bodies. They prepare for it. They don't wait until they feel weak to take action. They take action so they don't feel weak, and science is backing them up. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Physiology looked at a small group of seniors in their 70s and 80s. These people weren't just active. They had muscle strength, endurance, and balance equal to people decades younger. They weren't athletes. They weren't elite. They were just consistent. They lifted light weights, they walked daily, they stretched, they ate well, they slept deeply, and most importantly, they believed they could stay strong. You see, we've been told a lie. That aging means decline, that strength fades, that weakness is inevitable. But these superagers prove the opposite. Strength is still possible, at any age. Because muscle isn't just a product of youth. It's a product of movement, nutrition, mindset, and consistency. And here's the good news. The same habits that help a 40-year-old build muscle can work for a 70 or 80-year-old too. Sometimes even better, because they have more to gain. So don't give in to the myth. Don't settle for just getting by. You can still feel strong. You can still be strong. And in the next chapter, we'll start with the foundation, the habit that superagers never skip. Let's build your strength from the ground up. When it comes to aging strong, one habit stands above the rest. Progressive strength training. No, it's not about lifting heavy weights. It's not about six-pack abs. It's about keeping your body functional, resilient, and independent. Let's set the record straight. Walking is great, stretching is essential, but neither will stop age-related muscle loss on their own. Why? Because your muscles need one key thing to grow: challenge. Not pain, not punishment, just steady, controlled resistance, applied regularly and increased over time. That's the magic of progressive overload. And it works at any age. A study from McMaster University found that older adults who trained just twice a week with moderate to high resistance gained significantly more strength than those who did longer, lighter workouts. Why? Because muscles only grow when they're asked to do more than they did yesterday. If the stress never increases, neither will your strength. Here's what strong seniors do differently. They train twice per week for about 30 minutes. They slowly increase resistance or reps. They focus on compound movements like squats, rows, and presses. And they emphasize control, especially during the eccentric, lowering phase. These movements not only boost strength, they improve balance, protect joints, and reduce fall risk. And the best part? You don't need a gym. You can use resistance bands, water bottles, your own body weight, or light dumbbells at home. So if you've been walking every day but still feeling weaker, this might be the missing piece, because walking keeps you moving, but strength training keeps you strong. Start simple, start light, but start now, because your muscles are still listening, and they're ready to grow. Most people think muscle loss is just a physical issue, but what if I told you? It's just as much mental. See, your brain doesn't just think, it moves you. It controls every step, every lift, every moment of balance through tiny signals sent down to your muscles. These are called neuromuscular connections, and after age 60 they begin to weaken. Even if you have muscle, your body might forget how to use it. That's why superagers don't just move. They move with intention. They play table tennis. They dance. They do tai chi. They garden, balance, step over things on purpose. Because every time you coordinate movement, you fire up those brain-to-muscle pathways. You keep the signal alive, and it works. A 2020 study found that older adults who practiced coordination-based activities retained 31% better neuromuscular function than those who didn't. But that's not all. Superagers also train their nervous system through brain challenges, like puzzles, crosswords, or learning a new skill breathwork, like box breathing to stimulate the vagus nerve. Targeted nutrients, like alpha-lipoic acid, B12, and acetyl L-carnitine, all of which support nerve repair and signal clarity. Because when your brain and muscles are in sync, you don't just move, you move with precision. You reduce the chance of falls. You improve coordination. You feel more confident in your own body. So if you've ever said, "I feel disconnected from my body lately," you're not imagining it. But the good news is, those signals can reconnect. Through movement, through mindfulness, through small daily challenges. It's not just about building muscle. It's about reviving the link between your mind and your body. And when those two are aligned, that's when real strength begins to return. You're doing the workouts, you're eating your meals, you're staying active, but something still feels off. Your recovery is slow, your energy is low, you're not getting stronger, at least not the way you hoped. So what's missing? It might not be your effort. It might be your micronutrients. These are the small nutrients with a big impact, vitamins and minerals that power every process in your body, especially the ones that build and protect muscle. Let's look at a few of the most important ones. Magnesium, the muscle mineral. Over 70% of older adults are deficient, and that's a big deal. Magnesium helps with muscle contraction, protein synthesis, nerve transmission, sleep, and recovery. A study found that seniors with healthy magnesium levels had 30% better grip strength and improved balance. Superagers get theirs from spinach pumpkin seeds, almonds, black beans, magnesium glycinate supplements, bioavailable and gentle. Creatine, not just for bodybuilders. Yes, really. A McMaster University study showed that seniors who took 3 to 5 grams of creatine daily, while strength training built more muscle and improved brain performance compared to those who trained without it. Creatine helps muscles store energy, pulls water into cells, a growth signal, supports cognitive function. It's safe, affordable, and one of the most powerful muscle allies available. Vitamin B12, the silent drain. As we age, we absorb less B12, and many medications like metformin or antacids make it worse. Without B12, you may feel weak, dizzy, mentally foggy, off balance. Superagers use methylated B12, the active form, and eat more fish, eggs, and yogurt. Zinc, selenium, and chromium, the tiny powerhouses. These trace minerals help with muscle repair, blood sugar control, protein metabolism. A long-term study found that seniors with optimal levels of these nutrients preserved 22% more muscle mass over 5 years than those who were deficient. The takeaway? You might be eating enough, but your muscles could still be starving for the right nutrients. That's why superagers test, not guess. They check their levels. They work with their doctor. They give their bodies the raw materials it needs, so all the workouts and healthy meals can actually work. Because sometimes, the difference between feeling tired and feeling strong comes down to something smaller than a spoonful. You wake up stiff, your joints ache, you feel tired, even after a full night's rest. It's easy to blame aging, but often, the real culprit is something quieter. Chronic inflammation. It doesn't scream, it doesn't cause sudden pain. It just simmers, day after day, silently breaking down your muscles, your joints, your energy. And if left unchecked, it becomes one of the biggest barriers to staying strong as you age. This type of slow-burning inflammation even has a name: inflammaging. Researchers at Tufts University found that older adults with high inflammation markers lost muscle 3 times faster, even when they exercised and ate enough protein. Let that sink in. Even if you're doing everything right, inflammation could be undoing your progress. So what do superagers do? They cool the fire. Every single day. Here's how. They prioritize sleep. Poor sleep raises inflammation markers by up to 40% in just 1 week. Superagers. Go to bed at the same time every night. Limit screens before bed. Keep bedrooms cool, quiet, and dark. Why? Because no recovery, no strength. They heal the gut. Over 70% of your immune system lives in your digestive tract. A weak or imbalanced gut. Runaway inflammation. Superagers eat 30+ different plant foods per week. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi. Soluble fiber from oats, beans, apples, and flaxseed. A study from the University of California found that improving gut health reduced inflammation by 29% in just 12 weeks. They move, but not too much. Too much intense exercise? That can worsen inflammation. Instead, they walk daily stretch practice, Tai Chi limit intense sessions to 1 to 2 times per week. They train smart and recover smarter. They eat anti-inflammatory foods, fatty fish, omega-3s, berries, olive oil and green tea, polyphenols, turmeric or curcumin, joint and muscle protectors. These don't just ease pain. They preserve mobility, protect strength, and help your body bounce back. They track it. Want to know your inflammation level? Ask your doctor for a high-sensitivity CRP test, HSCRP. Below 1.0, Schars great, 1.0, 3.0, Schars moderate, over 3.0, Schars high concern. Most superagers stay below 1.0 because they know you can't build muscle on a body that's always on fire. Inflammation might be invisible, but its effects are not. So take control. Cool the fire. And give your muscles the calm environment they need to thrive. You already know protein builds muscle. But here's something most people, even health experts, overlook. It's not just how much protein you eat, it's when you eat it. As we age, our muscles become less efficient at absorbing protein. This is called anabolic resistance. That means if you eat one big high-protein meal at night, but skipped breakfast and had a light lunch, you're missing your window to build strength. Your muscles don't want one big deposit. They want consistent nourishment throughout the day. Superagers know this. That's why they follow the 3-meal rule. Around 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the results? A study from the University of Texas found that older adults who followed this pattern built over 1 pound of extra muscle in just 12 weeks, without changing anything else. That's the power of timing. So what does this look like in real life? Breakfast: eggs, Greek yogurt, protein smoothie with nut butter. Lunch: grilled chicken or tofu tuna salad. Lentils or chickpeas with whole grains. Dinner: fish, beans, cottage cheese, or lean meats. a side of cooked vegetables, quinoa or brown rice. Even snacks can help. A handful of almonds, a boiled egg, a slice of cheese or hummus with veggies. And here's a bonus tip. Eat within an hour after training. That's when your muscles are most hungry for fuel and most ready to grow. Remember, your body doesn't just care about calories. It cares about consistency. Protein spread across the day helps your muscles stay nourished, alert, and ready to rebuild. Because you're not just feeding your stomach. You're feeding your future strength. Most people think staying strong means avoiding stress, but here's what superagers know. A little stress, the right kind at the right time, makes you stronger. It's called hormetic stress, and it's one of the most powerful anti-aging tools there is. Hormetic stress is about exposing your body to short bursts of controlled challenge, not to punish it, but to wake it up, to stimulate growth, repair, and resilience. Let's break down the superager toolbox. Cold exposure, a morning wake-up for your muscles. Just 30 to 60 seconds of cold water at the end of your shower can. Activate brown fat, boost metabolism. Release adiponectin, a hormone that helps protect muscle from breakdown. Research from the Buck Institute found that cold exposure improves muscle function and cellular energy in older adults. Heat exposure, sweat, that heals. Saunas and hot baths do more than relax you. They activate heat shock proteins, molecules that repair damaged muscle cells, improve circulation, reduce inflammation. A Finnish study found that seniors who used saunas 4 to 7 times per week had 40% less muscle decline over 10 years. That's not spa time. That's strength time. Intermittent fasting, cellular cleanup for stronger muscle. Eating within an 8 to 10 hour window gives your body time to reset. It activates a process called autophagy, where your cells clean out damaged parts and upgrade themselves. This leads to better mitochondrial performance, more efficient muscle repair, less internal waste holding you back, and you don't even need to eat less. Just eat smarter. Isometric holds, small movements, big signals. Superagers use isometric exercises like wall sits, holding a plank, pressing palms together. Just 10-15 seconds sends a strong anabolic signal to your muscles without stressing your joints. Perfect for aging bodies that want results without risk. You see, these tiny struggles, cold, heat, fasting, static holds, don't weaken you. They toughen you. Not by force, but by awakening the systems inside your body that have been waiting for a challenge. Because here's the truth. Your body still wants to fight, to grow, to adapt. It just needs the right message. And every time you lean into a little discomfort, you're sending that message loud and clear. Stay strong, stay ready, stay alive. Let's take one final moment to look back at everything you've just learned. You started this video wondering if strength in later life was still possible. Now you know, it's not only possible, it's within reach. Because the strongest 80-year-olds don't rely on luck or genes, they rely on habits. Here are the 7 daily practices they use to stay strong, mobile, and independent. 1. Progressive strength training. Muscles grow when they're challenged, not coddled. Even light resistance, increased slowly, rebuilds power at any age. 2. Mind-muscle connection. Coordination, breath work, brain games, and balance activities keep your nervous system sharp so your muscles remember how to move with confidence. 3. Micronutrient mastery. Magnesium, B12, creatine, and trace minerals give your muscles the spark they need to grow, recover, and stay resilient. 4. Inflammation control. Anti-inflammatory foods, better sleep, gut health, and smart movement reduce the silent damage that weakens tissue from the inside out. 5. Optimize vitamin D plus K2. The unsung hero of strength, balance, and fall prevention, tested yearly, supported daily. 6. Protein timing. 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal fuels muscle consistently and avoids the trap of too little, too late. 7. Hormetic stress, cold showers. Sauna sessions, fasting, isometric holds, little discomforts that send your body a big signal. Stay strong, stay alive. Now it's your turn. Which of these 7 habits will you start this week? Leave a comment below with the one you're most excited to try. Or share your story. We might feature it in a future video. And remember, you don't need to do them all at once. Just choose one. Because that first small step, it might be the one that brings your strength back. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. Your body is still listening. So speak to it, with movement, with nourishment, with purpose. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to channel, share it with someone you care about, because strength is contagious, and it's never too late to begin.